Today we're reviewing what's in the bag. This is the Grey Ghost Precision Combat Pistol in full size. It does have a little brother in compact, which is more like a Glock 19 size, whereas this is a Glock 17 size. And as you can see, it comes out of the box, minus the RMR, very well equipped. Thank you guys very much for spending a few minutes of your day checking out this review of the Grey Ghost Precision Combat Pistol. My name is Dave Tim from Guns and Tactics. I do appreciate you tuning in. If you want to learn more about us, check us out online, follow us on social media, and if you like what you see, please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Now back to the gun. I received the Grey Ghost Precision Combat Pistol for a long-term, kind of review. I've had it for about 3 months now that I've been shooting at the range, doing different drills and stuff. Brought it with to a couple local matches, shot some classes, things like that, and it's ran really good. I did run into one issue, which I'll talk about here in a second, but I got that figured out. But it is a full-size, basically ready to rock and roll handgun out of the box. Now let's talk about price right away, because a lot of people ask about price in a gun like this. MSRP is $1,500. You can find them on sale online at a few different preferred dealers for, around that 13-ish hundred, maybe a little bit more. I know I've seen them for that. But you might ask yourself, why would I buy a gun like this for a higher price when I can buy a standard polymer gun and then add to it or whatever? And that's a great question. If you look at what is in this gun for the money, I think you're getting a lot. And the reality is, out of the box, this thing is just ready to go. You don't have to do a grip job. You don't have to do stippling. You don't have to do slide cuts. You don't have to do optic cut. You don't have to buy night sights. You don't have to buy a trigger. It's set. Now, one aspect that a lot of people don't think about is if they were to buy a gun and have all this work done to basically get it to something like this, is your warranty is void. You don't have a warranty because you've modified or enhanced, or whatever term, I like enhanced, but because you've modified it from the manufacturer's perspective, they will not warranty that. Whereas with a complete gun from the factory like this, you do get a warranty and you get the customer support and service from Grey Ghost. Let me get the case out of the way, because usually when guns come with cases, I kind of just throw them away. Like, I can't tell you how many gun cases I have on a shelf that just literally do nothing and collect dust. But when this one came, I was actually impressed. It's a nice material, has dual zippers, has a pouch up here for small things. This is where the owner's manual and some screws came for the optic cut, which is great. We have a strapping system so you can configure it and secure the handgun in there. You have 2 mag pouch so you can secure mags, and it's padded and actually is a really nice pouch. Now, they do sell this handgun pouch bag separately. It's about $42 on their webpage, but I actually think it's worth it. It's not too big, it's not too small. You could probably easily fit probably another mag or 2 layered in there if you needed to, or maybe like a box of ammo laid on top, and some accessories in the pouch. So the reality is, this is probably the first bag or case or pouch that has ever come with a gun that I'll probably keep and actually probably buy more of. I actually like it. So that's that. What comes in the bag is you get the gun and you get 3 Magpul 17 round PMags, which run flawlessly. Just to get mags out of the way, I did also test it with Magpul 21 round mags, as well as a bunch of Glock factory mags, and no mag issues at all. Ran fine. Those are the mags I run. I've had issues with other aftermarket Glock mags, so that's that. Now, let's talk about the gun. Why would you spend the money? For one, it literally comes out of the box ready to go. It has great texture. It has a 1911 grip angle, which I'm a huge fan of. I found this gun very comfortable right from the bat. I don't need to do a grip reduction. I don't need to do any stippling. The texture is smooth but yet grippy, if that makes sense. And what I mean by the smooth is that it doesn't catch on your clothing, it doesn't ride on your skin or anything like that, but yet it offers some traction when you need it. The front and rear back strap has a little bit different, more like a pebbled texturing, which again feels really nice in the hand. And whoever was thinking they have a nice, smooth trigger guards, whoever was designing that had definitely a shooter's mindset not to stipple way up into the undercut. It's a double undercut, by the way, so it's great for that two-handed grip. And then they did not add texture too high on the beaver tail. That's my number one annoyance. You see some of these textures and stipples that go way up into the beaver tail, and that's not where it should be, in my opinion. Extended beaver tail is a nice touch. So for those of us with, kind of big hands or fat hands or whatever, we don't have to worry about slide bite. And it's not an overly obnoxious beaver tail either, so it's not going to interfere with holsters and things like that or get in your way. So nice job, definitely a noticed feature there. Accelerator cuts on both sides of the frame give you a nice reference for your support hand thumb. Other nice things on the controls is an extended mag release. Now, because it is a Gen 3 pattern, it is not reversible, so it is just on the left side of the gun, but it is extended, and it does have an extended slide stop or slide release. So no problems finding it there. If you have a favorite control, the cool thing is it is compatible with a lot of Glock aftermarket parts out there. So if you have some favorite Glock accessory, there's a good chance it is going to work on the frame. Nice frame, a very nice frame. Now you might recognize where they have their frames manufactured, but it is a complete frame with just overall a pleasant experience. Now moving up to the slide, nice serrations all the way around. Basically, we have front serrations, top serrations, and rear serrations, plus it is cut for the RMR. And it does come with a cover plate, and I'll roll in some footage so you guys can see some details. It came with night vision night sights front and rear. Now, they're not suppressor height, so if you're going to mount an optic, obviously these don't work the best because they're not high enough to be visible through the window. But if you're going to run it out of the box, just with the plate, no problem whatsoever. And the fact that it came with night vision sights, and these are over $100 on their own, I think that's a good value. You're getting a complete gun. They kind of thought about everything with the exception of a mag well. I'd love to see a mag well included. That was maybe like one gripe I had, was that I'd love to see some sort of a mag well option or maybe accessories, and I think there's some coming out in the future. But the slide is easy to manipulate, easy to grab onto wherever you prefer, how you prefer. But I'm a big front serrations guy, and the fact that it has these nice serrations here really made me happy. It has a nice stainless steel single piece recoil spring assembly. Very nice upgrade from your typical polymer type stuff that's out there. Now, as far as shooting the gun, that's, I think, what you came here for, okay? I'm not all about specs. If you want to see the specs, you can go to their webpage and you can read the specs. I hate reviews where they just basically look at the object and they read you off the webpage. You can go read the webpage and do that. What I want to go to a review for, especially a gun review, is how did the gun shoot? How does it feel? How does it function? And I was really pleased with overall how accurate the gun was. They're using their own barrel. It's a Grey Ghost barrel, 9mm is the caliber that I have this in. It's non-threaded. They call the barrel a match grade barrel, and it was a very accurate shooting gun for me. One of my warm-up drills that I regularly do is I throw up a B8 at 25 yards, and with the RMR, my eyes and sights aren't really working as good, maybe as they used to, so that's why I like shooting with the RMR, but I was getting high 90s, no problem, with B8 kind of warm-up drills. And then when I was at my outdoor shooting area, a bunch of trap or clay shooters or whatever left a bunch of clay pigeons on the berm, and I didn't hit them all of the time, but picking those off at about, I think we were about 32-ish, 33 yards away from the berm. It sounds fun. I'm so glad these trap shooters just leave these clay pigeons. Yeah, I know. This is just a blast. It's just, oh, there's a good one. There we go. Hitting, I think they're about 4 inches, clay pigeon was very doable. It was a lot of fun. It actually kind of made plinking, kind of enjoyable again. All right, 25 yards. Let's go 50. 50 yards. yeah, so just holding that iron sight over that is taking some getting used to. I'm used to shooting red dots. Shootability of the gun, it shot fine. Now the only issue I did run into was that there was one lot of Winchester White Box 147 grain ammo that I did have that would have a couple of fail to eject. So it would extract basically fine, but then I'd have a stovepipe or a fail to eject. And what I found, the ejector that was in the gun was the Glock 336, which is kind of the older generation ejector. And what I put in was the 302-74 ejector, which is what came out with a lot of the Gen 4 guns when some of the Gen 4 Glocks were having issues. So I threw that ejector in there, and I found that that made the ejection a lot more consistent, and I didn't have any other issues after test firing with that 147. All the other ammo I had, 150 grain Syntech, 115 grain bulk, Blazer, American Eagle, everything else just ran fine, and it was actually very enjoyable to shoot. Part of the reason why it was enjoyable to shoot was the CMC trigger. Again, it comes out of the box with the CMC trigger, so you don't have to worry about upgrading your trigger. Now, personal preferences, I would maybe like the trigger a hair lighter. This trigger, the CMC flat face trigger, was breaking right around 5.5 pounds, but very doable. What's nice with the CMC trigger though, is that the first stage of a Glock trigger until you hit that wall is very pleasant, and then it's just basically a little speed bump, and there's not a significant amount of travel that is needed to break that wall. So even though it's maybe a hair heavy, but keep in mind they're kind of gearing this towards a combat duty type gun, it was not unpleasant at all. It was still a good shooting experience, and I was able to make good hits. So it's this was actually a fun gun to shoot. Now, one thing I did run into was some holster compatibility. I run a lot of Safariland holsters. That's just what I run for like a duty holster. Even for some of my training holsters, I use the ALS or I think these are called like 7 series or something like that. And what I found is that out of the box, it is not compatible with Safariland because the dust cover area of the frame is a little bit wider. Now, I'm told Safariland is working on a new mold of holsters that will fit the frames, so that's good. I think it's in the works. The other thing is not just the ALS, but even if I were to put a light on here quick, with the full-size duty holsters, I ran into the same thing. It doesn't quite go in. Now, if I were to take the heat gun to the duty holster, I'm pretty sure I could probably make it work. So I think with maybe a little love, you might be able to get a light bearing duty holster to work, or even possibly a Series 7. Obviously I have a red dot on, so bad example, but it didn't work when I had the red dot off with that. Now, the one holster that I love, and I use these a lot when I'm evaluating guns or training or whatever, is the Universal GLS. This thing is just awesome, and I have a fork on the back so I can use it with my training rig, but this worked just fine, and it even worked with a red dot. So this is primarily what I used as a training rig for this gun, and no issues there. But I'm told Safariland stuff in the future, but the cool thing is that Grey Ghost does have a list of compatible holsters on their webpage. I'll kind of show an image of that now. Otherwise, you can check out their webpage to see what compatible holsters are, because I think that's a legit question of, is it, because it's an aftermarket, G pattern type gun, is it compatible with all Glock holsters? So they have some very reputable ones on there. The Safariland GLS does work. So there's, there is holster options, but I'm told that a duty holster is in the works in the future. So that's good. My final thoughts. If you were to take a out of the box stock Glock handgun, $600, optic cut, have your slide cut and refinished, have some framework done, trigger, night sights, match barrel, you'd be surprised how quick that adds up to the price of a complete gun like this. And the fact is that they did all of that work for you. Out of the box, that's no fuss, no muss. You're not gonna have to get it, send it to here, send it to there, do anything with it. I would take a strong look at the Grey Ghost. They do have, like I said, the full size, which is Glock 17. They do have a compact, which is Glock 19. It's available in 2 different colors, black or gray. I got the gray because I kind of wanted something a little bit different from black. But they're nice guns. They're nice guns, and as you can see from the footage, they shoot flat, they shoot fast. What's not to like? So that is my review of the Grey Ghost Precision Combat Pistol. I have the full size. I'm gonna keep shooting this, so you'll probably see this in some more videos to come. I hope you found this review helpful. If you did, please hit that like, share, and subscribe button. As always, if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comment section below, or make sure to check out our QA series. At the end of every month, we answer your questions. All you gotta do is send us an email to the email address shown on the screen, and we answer your questions, plus we give away a prize to one lucky winner every month. That's the QA series. Thank you guys very much for watching, and have a great day. We work really hard to make content that we hope you as a shooter would enjoy. Subscribe to our channel, check out our featured videos and playlists, and if you have a question firearms related, go ahead and send an email to the address shown on the screen to be entered into our monthly QA series.